Hello, 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 and welcome. This is how to balance your life with the husband and the children. And we are still talking about how to be a homemaker. This is Samagumbi, the Mompreneur. Smiling is my trademark, guys. Today, I've got a wonderful sister of mine. Oh, my word. I am so humbled. I'm so honored to have her. Sis Gwen, please, you are welcome. How are you doing?
Thank you. Thank you. I am very fine. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for the invitation.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Guys, Sis Gwen is all the way from Canada. That's what technology can do for us. Maybe just a bit about yourself before I can just run through what we have been talking about as homemakers, as women. Just tell us a bit about who Sis Gwen is, and then I'll tell you guys where I'm coming from with Sis Gwen.
Sounds good. Well, my full name's Gwen Munshya. And as already said, I am based in Canada at the moment. We live in Calgary in the province of Alberta. I have been married coming 17 years now, this September, with my husband, and we have 3 children. Firstborn age 16, and then we have a soon-to-be 15-year-old, and our last one is 9.
Wow.
So been in this institution 17 years, raising 3 children while working full-time. Currently, I am working with a healthcare institution as a project coordinator. And yeah, learning to balance life as life comes.
Wow, guys. Wow, guys. You know what? The Bible says that we need to learn from those who have gone ahead. I've only just been 10 years in marriage, and my oldest is Gwen is 9. Your youngest is 9.
Is 9.
We just have to learn from each other. But moms out there, we are talking about you being a homemaker. And if you've missed these sessions today, we are on Thursday, and we're talking about the topic of how to balance your husband and your children and yourself. So on Monday, we talked about how it is to be a homemaker. What is a homemaker? And we had a mind-blowing session. Oh my goodness, I have got knots and knots of that day. Tuesday, we saw that a younger woman and older woman talking about what my mother didn't teach me. There are so many lessons that our mothers didn't tell us, or our aunties. And on Wednesday, my awesome friend Debbie, who taught me how to schedule my life, or how to have a life whilst having children. And you saw how she put it across, having schedules with the children, when they eat, when they sleep. That was amazing. Today is another level. We are going higher, guys. Sis Gwen, I hope you were following some of the sessions as well. How did you find them?
Very interesting, very interesting, very informative. So yeah, we're just building on that today.
Yes. Guys, I was a small little girl at university. I got there in my first year, and there are all these big sisters. And I was like, oh my word. But you know what? The love that Sis Gwen gave me, the love that the Almas gave me, I felt at home. That's where we met, all the way from Unam. She's from Zambia.
Yes.
I'm from Zimbabwe. I'm staying in South Africa. We learned in Namibia. She's in Canada. We are all children of God.
That's right. That's right.
Awesome. Wow, let's get into it. So this topic can be huge, Sis Gwen, but there is a mom out there who is struggling, who is saying that I've got a husband. I need to love my husband. And I've got these children that I've got 3 children now as well, Sis Gwen. I've grown, no longer the little baby.
Yes.
So now, how do I balance up? Because my husband also wants attention. The children, they're 3. And then there's me. Because I'm always talking about, finding you in all this. Now, I want to be a homemaker. I want to be the Proverbs 31 woman. How do I balance all this? Like,
And Maybe I should premise this conversation by saying that even though I work full time now, I didn't start out in marriage working full time outside
Okay.
of the home.
Okay.
When I met my husband, I was still in university, and then the following year we decided we wanted to get married.
Okay.
Against my parents' wishes.
Yeah. Yeah. We
But
come
they
from the
gave their
African nation.
blessing. They gave their blessing, okay? They gave their blessing. But they would have preferred that I finish school.
Yes.
So anyway, I got married, and so I had not yet finished university, because if you remember, I had moved from the University of Namibia to
Yes.
move back home to Zambia to go and pursue studies there.
Yes.
And that's where I met my husband. And so we got married. We got married in September. The plan was in January, I was going to go back to school.
Okay.
And life was going to be, we had our own little plan, right? Get married, come January, I'm going back to school, I'm going to finish school, whatever great things we had planned ahead.
Yes.
And as it were, December, before I was supposed to go back to school, I was expecting our first child.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
So plans got shuffled, interrupted, whatever the word is, right? And my first pregnancy did not come easy. I don't know, my body just did all kinds of things. And I was just, I couldn't, there was no way I was going to be able to go to school. And, so we thought, okay, life happens, let's have the baby, you win the baby, and then you will go back to school. Yeah. Guess what? 6 months after our first child is born, I'm pregnant again with baby number 2.
Okay. 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 Okay.
There's a reason why I am beginning this conversation this way, because sometimes it's very easy to see people making it or seemingly looking like they have it all together. But I really want you to know, as you are listening, don't be too hard on yourself. If you have been struggling, if at all life has thrown the unexpected your way, you just have to come to a place where you realize life is a composition of phases or stages. Yes. Recognize what phase, what stage you are in your life and in your family, and do what you can in that phase, knowing that it doesn't always stay like that. Yeah. Okay. So for the first 3 years, I was just a stay-at-home mom. I had my own side hustle. That's why I love some. I was a stay-at-home mom, but I wasn't just staying at home and cleaning house and changing nappies. I had side hustles. I was into network marketing. I literally had a little shed at the front of my house where I sold tomatoes. I did whatever I could do in order to be able to contribute to the welfare of the family. Okay. I was, we were full-time ministry then. So it wasn't just prayers and going to church and singing. No. Deliberate efforts to create an environment where you feel this is a place where we live. This is a place where we can share our dreams. This is a place we can be ourselves, and finding ways in order to create the space that we live in, a place that we enjoy to be around. Yes. Okay, so phases. Then we moved here. My husband, we sort of switched temporarily, he was doing school full time. I was the one who was working full time. Wow. And together we were raising children. Wow. That's a whole different phase. That's a whole different phase. Yes.
Yes, like I'm thinking, okay, now my ears are open.
So we did that for a couple of years. And then at some point, 5 years ago, we were both in school. That's when I decided, okay, I have a degree I never finished. I want to go back and I'm doing this for me, right? There are
Yes,
certain things you have, and we will continue talking about taking care of yourself, nurturing those dreams that you have, and not letting marriage or having children sort of you lose yourself and lose the things that you love.
yes,
Because,
yes.
at the end of the day, we do everything to raise our kids, but guess what? The kids grow and they leave.
Yes, true, true
And
that.
if you haven't discovered yourself, you haven't found things that bring value and meaning for you, you will feel quite lost when your reason for waking up is only the children.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And yeah. So yeah, we were both in school at some point 5 years ago, and both working. So you can imagine what kind of a busy household that was.
Wow.
Both husband and wife in school, both of them working. So how much free time is there in a day? But
Wow.
we still have commitments to marriage. We still have commitment to our children. We still have commitment to our church. We still have commitment to self. How do you do that?
How do you exactly, that is where I am going, like, how do you do that? You are the right person. God just knew that you are the right person, because how you're mentioning church, you're mentioning marriage,
Mhm,
you're mentioning children,
mhm.
you're mentioning yourself, you're mentioning work, you're mentioning school. You're one person. How do you do that?
Yes. So when I really saw this, I was thinking balance. I think for me, the moment I hear that balance, I'm thinking of a scale.
Okay.
I'm thinking of a scale, and I'm thinking of, the old-fashioned scale where you have, to move those levers in order to balance it.
Yes.
And if you think of it in that regard, then it already implies that there's weight exerted.
Okay.
There's weight exerted on both ends, and in order to arrive at a balance,
Uh-huh.
these weights have got to equal.
Ah,
If
okay.
you are going to achieve a balance on that scale, those weights have got to equal, right? And so the way I think of it, the interesting thing about weight, if we're still thinking about that analogy of a scale,
Yeah.
the interesting thing about weight is that you can have sand on one side, right?
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
you can have stones, pebbles, if you like, on the other.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't have to be only one pebble to equal the sand. It can be different amounts, but the weight will be the same, even though what goes into making that weight is
Mm-hmm.
different.
Okay.
But
Okay.
what it comes up to 50 kilos on this side, 50 kilos, and if you just play around with numbers, right?
Yeah.
What will go into making this 50 kilos may be different things. You may have a pebble in there, you may have a stick in there, you may have paper in there, but together they form a weight.
Yes.
Same as on the other side. What am I trying to get at? That in balancing your life as a woman, balancing the husband and the children, that not the way I would balance my life, you can learn some things from me, but it doesn't necessarily have to look the same.
Yeah.
Because the weights, the pressure that you are facing may be quite different from the pressure that I'm facing.
Yes.
And what I need in order to balance this pressure may be a different composition of different things.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
I hear you.
So if, for instance, in the marriage or in the family, one of the pressures we are facing is financial, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
In order to balance this, we ask ourselves, okay, maybe husband is working, wife is not working. So maybe your balancing act will be finding other ways of how you supplement this financial pressure that the family is facing. And
Okay.
someone else might not have that pressure.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Someone else
Children.
might not have that pressure. Maybe what hubby makes is more than enough to cater for the family. So the pressure is different. And so what they need in order to balance their life may look a little bit different. Now, there are certain things that are core. If we are children of God, I do believe, if you are a child of God, there are certain things that are fundamental. You need a personal time to read the word of God. You need your own faith. You're not going to ride on the faith of others. You have to have your own faith, your own time. Excuse me, your own time that you are invested in a relationship with God, because you draw strength from him. So those are basics, those are core to anybody. But what I'm saying is that in this balancing act, we have different pressures. Right now, I'm at a phase where my children are teenagers. I have 2 teenagers in my house. And one who is a 9-year-old. There's sort of balancing that I need for my teenage children is different from the balancing that I needed when my children were all under 10.
Yes, that's true.
The time that I spent in taking care of them, the time that I spent in preparing for them to go to school, I needed to wake up much earlier because I needed to make sure they were, brushing their teeth right. I needed to make sure I pack their lunch boxes. I put things into their lunch boxes. I need to make sure they are wearing the right shoes. Canada is cold. In winter, I have to make sure they are dressed right before they come out of the door. But when they're teenagers, I'm not bathing my 16-year-old.
Yeah. That's
and
true.
if I have played my role right, at his age, he has certain cues of things that he does for himself. If I have played my role right, he wakes up at a particular time, he gets ready, he knows if it's winter, there are certain things that he needs to wear. He needs to get his books ready. The night before, we probably have talked about, have you thought about what you are carrying? If I'm giving money, I probably would have given him money for lunch. If he's carrying something, there's food already made, he knows to go and pack his own lunch, if I've done my role right. So that pressure is very, very different. So maybe the time that I need now is not really in helping him tie his shoes. It's not really in helping him get back. The new thing that I have to balance is understanding who my 16-year-old son is. Understanding who his friends are. Which circles he is in. Who are the people that are influencing his worldview? That's a whole different balancing act that I have to do now. How do I engage my 16-year-old son? Because he's not wanting to come and sit on my lap anymore. For the most time, if he comes in, he wants to just go straight to his room, and he can pretty much stay in his room and only come out to eat. So my balancing act now is, how do I engage with this 16-year-old? How do I create a relationship where my son is able to come and talk to me? I am able to get into his mind to have conversations. So we create a space where if he needed to ask a question, he is free to come and talk to me, because there is a relationship that I have built. I didn't have this 10 years ago when he was not a teenager.
Wow. Ooh, yeah, I hear you.
So I hope you're hearing me, and I hope I'm coming clear when I'm saying this whole balancing looks different at every phase of your life. And I think it will be important to say that I think for whatever your phase is, if your kids are young, if your kids are teenagers, if your kids, maybe they're older, they're about to leave home. I came from a culture where you lived with your parents until you got married. The world has pretty much changed now. Not many people stay with their parents until they're married, right? So I never lived on my own. Other than being in school, in college, I never lived on my own.
Wow.
I came from my father's house into my
Your husband's
matrimonial
house.
home.
Yes.
Into my husband's house. I never knew how to live on my own. I never knew what it was even to just be alone.
Yeah.
I've never had that
Wow.
opportunity in my life. And for other people, that's very different.
Mm.
Most people, like even my siblings, my sisters, have left home. As soon as they finished university, they're living on their own because they found a job 10 kilometers or however many kilometers away from home.
Yes.
And they're living on their own as single ladies and smashing life and everything. And to me, I'm just like, it's a new world.
True.
It's a new world. So all I am saying is that I think you need I was doing a course recently for my work, which is an introduction to service management.
Okay.
And so we are talking in that course and saying that, services that are being provided, they need to be of value. Because if they are not of value, then the people, the customers, they will not use that service unless it brings a certain value into their lives. And I think that the role of a woman in a home brings a lot of value into the home, the things that we do, the things that we carry about. And sometimes there's a mistake I think we make in thinking that to be good at being a homemaker or to be good at being a woman who's taking care of a family, you have to be fabulous at housekeeping. You have to be fabulous and excellent at all these things. I think though that homemaking and the whole womanhood goes beyond just sweeping, cooking, and all these things. I am not saying they are not important. I am saying they add to the homemaking of the home. But if I can just read you something that I read that I found to be very, very interesting. And if anyone is interested, this was an article that was published on Focus on the Family. I think it's the Canada one. And it's an article that is by Jill Savage on the Art of Homemaking. And she just says, homemaking is like cultivating, it cultivate the skills, not only of housekeeping, but of making a home for your family. As you already know, they are not always exactly the same. Housekeeping consists of laundry, the dishes, the toilet, the floors that need to be scrubbed. But homemaking is something else. And here's the thing. She says, homemaking is the deliberate cultivation of beauty and productivity in family relationships. Deliberate cultivation of beauty and productivity in family relationships.
Wow.
I think that's very profound, because whatever it is we do, at the end of the day, we are trying to cultivate for our children those relationships that bring out the beauty of our children, that bring out productivity from our children. Whatever it is we are doing, whether we are making food for them, whether we are dressing them up in certain clothes, we are sitting them down to teach them when they are not, picking up after themselves, and you sit down and they say, hey, listen, miss, this is what we do after dinner. You pick up your plate, honey, and you go and put it in the sink. What are we doing? We are cultivating something in them. We are instilling character in them. We are enabling them that when you are not there, there are certain things that they can do for themselves.
Yes. Wow, I like that.
So that it goes, so that service, we have to realize that as women, as homemakers, we are providing a service to our family. And it's not just housekeeping level where, yes, the house does need to look a certain way. Yes, the clothes do need to be washed. Yes, meals need to be prepared. When my kids, I have a statement with my kids. I say, when sometimes I cook a meal and, you can see them, but I wanted spaghetti today, or I wanted what? I said, listen, this is not a restaurant. You eat what you are given.
My house, My rules. My kids are like, I did that the other day. I said, my house, my rules, and we're drinking ginger, that ginger lemon. And then my daughter was like, it's
Yes.
your house, it's your rules. Okay, so this ginger is yours. I said, yes, sis, there it is. You drink it. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, like I'm saying, in the whole looking at it as a service kind of thing, in service management, we, in order to be able to continually provide a good service, we have to evaluate the services that we are providing. So we define a couple of things, certain things like an incident. What is an incident? An incident is something that has gone wrong. Okay, it's supposed to be working a certain way, but something has gone wrong, and somebody's like, can you fix this, because it's not working the way it's supposed to. Then there is also a request. Sometimes it's because somebody doesn't have, if you think of in an organization in terms of service management from a technology aspect, the organization provides Skype for business, provides email. So an incident will be if I try to log into my email or try to log into my Skype for business to do a meeting with some of our stakeholders, and the link won't work or something is not working. That's an incident, because it's supposed to work, but it's not working how it's supposed to work. The request can be that I realize that there's a certain tool that is available that can help me give a better service. So I'm requesting that you give me this software because it's going to help me do ABCD, right? I'm requesting for Adobe Pro because that will help me to edit PDF documents or whatever. So I'm requesting something. And sometimes also we realize that some things while they are working require an upgrade, right? There's new capabilities that have come onto the scene. The thing can do much more than we have right now. So we need to upgrade this thing so we can come up to the level of industry, right? How are these things relevant in your life as a woman?
As a woman.
In every phase that you are going through, you have to understand what are some of those things that sometimes don't work, right? And how if this thing doesn't work, what's its interrelationship with other areas of your life? Okay. So in a busy schedule, imagine when we are both at school, me and my husband, we are both at school, we are both at work. There's very little time for us. The time is mostly spent, if there is time in between, I'm trying to create time for my children because my children were much younger then. And the nature of also our, how can I say, our careers of choice, sometimes it felt like when I'm coming in through the door, he was going out the door.
Wow. Okay.
For a season, that's what it felt like. It was just like, hi, bye. How was your day? Good. Oh, okay, we'll catch up later, right? Because I gotta rush to go do this for the children. I gotta, whatever. So you see that in that season, if you are not deliberate, if in that season you don't identify that not spending time together as husband and wife and prioritizing that relationship can begin to make other things to suffer. Because if I feel neglected, I feel my, whatever is, I'm not getting what I'm supposed to be getting from the relationship. I start getting grumpy. I start feeling unhappy. What is going to happen?
Seems like we've lost her there. We'll just go on a pause. Awesome, guys. We are mothers. So we just had a small glitch there, us. But hey, we are back with C-Square and we continuing, guys. I don't know if you've not learned that when I'm talking or somebody is talking, you get a notebook. Then I don't know. I'm writing notes, C-Square. Please, you can just carry on, and I'm just learning because I'm realizing that I'm in that stage where my children are young. And sometimes seems like we don't have time to each other. When you were talking, I was like, Oh my God, that's where I am, where you're about to tell us how you feel grumpy when you're not loved and whatever. I'm thinking, I
Mhm.
think that's where I am. And my husband is doing a PhD. He's a geologist. He travels. No, it was me. I don't know what happened today. I don't know what happened just there. But we're still on, guys. Technology, yeah. But
Yes.
you know what? Let's just Gwen continue, and I listen because I'm here to learn. I'm the younger one. She's the older one. She's 17 years. I'm only 10, so I'm learning. The
Yeah,
floor is
you know,
yours, Sis Gwen.
so yes, so I was talking about recognizing those, the phase that you are in, understanding some of those issues that you may be experiencing in that phase of your life, and
Okay.
how that issue is interrelated to other aspects of your ability to be a good homemaker. And I'm
Okay.
talking about that phase when I'm thinking of, we are both busy people, we have school, we have work, we
Mm-hmm.
have kids.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, for a while it was like, if we are not being deliberate in setting time for each other,
Yeah.
if we're not being deliberate in just setting some time somewhere to
Mm-hmm.
talk,
Mm-hmm.
to talk, because it's like you're just hello, hello. You know, for a while, it's like conversations is always about children. Oh, hey, how's your day going? You know, are you picking up, are you picking up Lizzie from school today, or am I doing it? You know,
Wow. Wow.
it's like all
Wow.
the conversations are just about
Children.
children, right?
Mm.
Who's taking the child this way, who's picking the child this way, who's responsible for A, B, C, D,
Mm.
and the relationship between the two of us sort of just gets shoved to the side.
Okay.
But that has got consequences. I found, maybe other people have other ways of dealing with this, but I felt like if that went unchecked for a while,
Mm-hmm.
it just brought a lot of these feelings of frustration. Sometimes it just brought, you know, a certain level of feeling, you know, a little lonely, a little like, um, this is too routine. This is too routine. Everything
Yes.
every day looks the same. Every
Yes.
day looks the same. I can almost anticipate when I'm gonna be losing my mind over something in the day, because can I be
Wow.
honest?
Yeah, yeah. Wow, wow. I think
You know,
I
you
would
almost
ask
get
I'll ask the ladies, the mothers who are watching, please comment below. What are your losing point? What is happening in your life? Just comment and help us. Yes.
Yeah, so you know, every day looks the same. It's so routine. It's just you can anticipate what time of the day, what is going to happen, and
Yeah.
you're just like, how long, Lord, is this going to go on like this? You know, and you get home sometimes, you need a minute. You know what I mean? You need a minute. I just need a minute to contain my thoughts. I just need a minute to compose myself, to transition myself from all this. I've been to work, I've been to school, I'm in the house. I need a minute of quiet. You know,
Yeah.
I always say about people, I'm one person actually who's quite the introvert, even though most people will think I'm an extrovert.
Yeah.
I think I've learned the cues of socialization, so I can keep up with the energy. But what happens is that when I come away from there, I'm exhausted.
You want to be
I
in your
need
space.
downtime.
Yes.
I need to retreat. I need to be by myself. I need to
Yes.
just have a moment. And you
Mhm.
get in there, and the moment you're walking in, one little person is tugging at your dress and, mommy, 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 mommy.
Yes. Yes.
You know, mommy,
Yes.
this one did. Mommy, this one did. And you
Ah.
know, as good Christian as you are, and as tongue talking as you are,
Mm.
certain times you find your voice goes higher than you would like it to.
I know. I know. Yeah. Yeah.
But then it's like, if that's happening a lot, you have to sit down and take stock, right?
Okay.
What is it that is creating this, right,
Okay.
on the
Okay.
inside of me and what? And so we found with my husband that we needed to be deliberate. And I know you're like, but where are you finding the time? Sometimes
Mm.
it's just 30 minutes. Sometimes it's just 1 hour.
Okay.
Create the space and the time. You know,
Okay.
for us, most times it was the Friday because school always ended up, you know, you're not having a deadline the following day on a Saturday. Most
Okay.
times you need the weekend to write your papers and it's due the Monday or sometime during the week. At least
Yes.
that's how it went for both of us. So
Yeah.
for Friday, we tried to create, when the kids were younger, space for family. So
Okay.
Friday was movie night. We didn't have to have money to go out. We did this in our home, you know, because our kids were younger. There was lots where you could rent a video from the library. You
Okay.
could buy a DVD of the latest movie that came out.
Okay.
You could have access to different, nowadays it's even easy. There's Netflix, there's
Yes.
all these different things that you can subscribe to,
Yeah.
you know, and we rented a movie from the library, or we bought a DVD, or they on cable, there's what they call on demand, where you pay when you watch something for 48 hours.
Okay.
So Friday night was time for us to sort of reconnect with our kids, make them feel, you know, mommy and dad have got time for you. We made the living room our theater place. We switched off the lights, and you know,
Wow.
we tried to invest in a big screen TV, because
Wow.
that created that theatrics for our
Wow.
children. We didn't even
Okay.
have budgets to be going out and whatever, right? So
Yeah.
you're limited on certain things, but at least there was that. You learn a few hacks as a mom, right?
Okay.
Rather than going to buy food. What is it that my kids loved to eat? They loved chips on a Friday night. Instead of me ordering the food, I would just take the time to make it. So
Okay.
my Friday was my work day. If I could avoid a class on a Friday, that was usually my plan. And then
Okay.
selecting classes, even if I have to wait to take it another semester when it is being offered another day, I
Wow.
always tried to free up my Friday. That's why it took me close to 6 years to do my degree, because I didn't do it full time. I was doing it part time. And I
Okay.
was very deliberate on what day of the week I wanted what, because I needed still a certain level of control for my
Okay.
life.
Okay.
Right? So
Okay.
Fridays, making chips from work. You learn. There's YouTube now. There's the double frying method that makes the chips really crisp, the way the kids like it, from that other chain store where you
Ye-
buy them. So you
Yes.
learn little hacks as a woman to
Yeah.
make buy popcorn that you can pop in the microwave. Just do little things that my kids, and you know, your kids love you. Your kids get excited by all these things. They're not even rating you and saying, oh, mommy, your chips don't taste like. They're just so happy to spend the time with you.
Yes.
You are in
Yes.
the
Yes.
living room, you know, they are lying on you, you know, you are covered in blankets if it's really cold, but it's that family time. We'd watch a movie for 2 hours and say our prayers and send off the kids to bed. We were just talking about this the other day with the kids. As they don't remember me putting them to bed so much. They remember my husband doing it, because usually that's how it went. After
Okay.
that, he would go read stories for
Oh,
them
okay. Okay.
and put them to bed. And so
Yes.
once the kids are in bed, then it was time for us, because we are not really rushing to Saturday. We can now talk,
Okay.
download, you know, what's going on, my friend, you
Yeah.
know,
Yes.
let's plan about ABCD and whatever. And this was the time for us to do something. Occasionally my husband would surprise me. You know, I'll be like, oh, Friday, you know, we had my sister and my sister-in-law, and would be like, the kids are going to stay with the girls. You and I are going to spend the night at a hotel. You know,
Wow.
but what I'm saying is, you have to be deliberate. You
Okay.
have to be deliberate. And this thing of waiting for the man to do something, sometimes if you keep waiting for him to do something, sometimes it takes them a while to cue in
Yeah.
that the relationship is suffering.
Yeah.
For them, they can go on like that, business as usual. If the house is clean, the kids are fed, the kids are happy, you
Yeah.
are smiling, they
Yeah.
think everything is okay. So you are going to have to be deliberate in just, you know, finding it. Each person knows how to talk to their man. If you have a
Wow.
man in your life, you
Yes.
should know how to talk to your man, because maybe how I talk to mine is not the same way you talk to yours, because they are different.
Yes.
Learn your man's language and how you communicate effectively to him,
Yes.
and suggest things or initiate things, and soon enough he will pick up on the cues and he will start doing those things.
Wow,
Right.
wow, 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 guys, I wish I can go on. Oh my word, I wish I can go on. But what I have gotten from this chat, from this talk, is we go on a phase. It's a phase. Wherever you are finding yourself listening to this, be it they're small, they're like mine, they're teenagers, they're older ones, it's a phase that we go through. And the other thing that you talked about is being deliberate. You have to take the initiative. That's why we're talking about you balancing and you being a homemaker. So it's you who needs to take that task on you and say, you know what, I'm going to be deliberate about how I run my home. So I'm on the right track, Sis Gwen, because on Thursdays, we've got date nights. If we don't have money, we go to the mall, we park this side, we walk and do window shopping and walk back and get into the car and come back home.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's
That's
still time spent, invested in talking and finding mutual interest. Mutual interest.
Okay.
Because when schedules are busy, it can seem like everybody has got their own thing that they are doing.
Yeah.
So how do you bring that connection? You find mutual interest, right? That's why if he likes sports, rather than you waiting for him to be done watching the game, what can you do to better his experience of watching the game? Can you quickly go make a steak for him? Can you quickly do some, chicken wings or something and bring it to him? Can you make him a drink? And can you sit there? Some of us are, then we want to talk and interrupt. They don't, most men who are into sports don't like that. They don't want to talk and watch, right?
Exactly.
They don't want to talk and watch. So, but you can do something, give him something to eat that he's enjoying while he's watching that game. Learn what his team, who's his favorite team is. If they are winning, cheer with him. Even if you are in the kitchen and you hear the score, run into the room and be like, oh my goodness, they scored. He knows that you are interested in what he is interested in. When the game is done, it will be very hard. Okay, if he loses, some people are sour losers. When their team loses, it's like that spoils the whole evening. But assuming the team wins, you've got something to hook on right there. You've got a conversation starter right there. You've got something to enjoy together right there. I mean, you have to be sometimes a little sassy. I know all ages are watching. Some I'm trying to censor my words, but sometimes if his team wins and you've been kind of struggling to make that connection, be in there and celebrate. I'm so happy your team won and whatever. I was like, well, let's just continue this celebration upstairs. That's if your room is upstairs. Let's continue this celebration. I'm not gonna say too much, but I think you get it.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Take advantage of the situation. Don't be waiting for an opportunity to come and throw down from heaven. There's always opportunities every day. Be sharp.
Exactly.
Be sharp in learning those things and taking advantage of things that are working a certain way and just getting value for yourself while at it.
Awesome. Wow. Women, if you're not going to change from this, I don't know what you're going to change from, because guys, we need to be deliberate. Like I'm going to take it further, guys. But having said that, thank you so much, Sis Gwen. Thank you so much, because I've just realized that, you know what, I just have to take it easy. He's doing his PhD, and he says it's his long-time dream. I'm building a business, and sometimes, in my space, people reject you, people say this and you're down. He's busy. sometimes there's no one to talk to, and they're like, "Jack, so this man doesn't love me." No, but I've just learned you know what I do? I've just learned to do this knitting.
Knitting,
Yeah,
yes.
that's
And
how I
that's
make my squares.
really important.
Look, I've made the squares, and I just said, you know what? I'm going to keep myself busy, because
Exactly.
otherwise I'll go mad and say that this guy doesn't love me. He does, but it's just that this time he's got his PhD, he's got work. We've got younger kids, like my daughter. We've called her Ntombiaise. It's daddy's girl. So even if I want to put her to bed, she'll be like, "Where's Baba? Where's Baba?" So I've learned, and this has been a worthy lesson for me, and eye-opening to say that this is just a phase that we are going through.
A phase.
It's not permanent.
No, it's really not. It's really not permanent. Don't pressure yourself in, trying to attain perfection.
Yeah.
Like I am saying, understand what needs to work for you.
Okay.
For your family, for your schedules, for whatever is coming your way.
Yeah.
Learn what systems help you support your kind of family that you're trying to build. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
Like in this phase of my life, I have a cook day that I call a cook day, which is usually Sunday.
Okay.
Sunday after church, we come home, I rest a little bit. From about 4 or 5, I'm in the kitchen.
Okay.
And I'm making 3-4 different meat or whatever dishes that we can eat for the next 2-3 days of the week.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
So that when I go to work and I come back, the meats are already ready. All I need to do is cook the salsa if that's what I want to, because that doesn't take a long time.
Okay. Okay. All right.
My kids eat a lot of rice. My teenage boys, they love rice.
Yeah.
And so for them, I can cook one big pot of rice. They and I cook a variety. So for them, they really like the Nigerian type rice, the jollof rice.
Yes.
So there's one recipe that I have honed that I really like. I make one huge pot and put it into 2 different containers, because it's my boys eating it. All they need to do is warm a portion when they want to eat it in the microwave. And when I cook one pot, that lasts at least 3 days.
Okay.
So when they want to eat rice, the rice is already there. They just warm it. The meat's different. Some is grilled, some is stewed. So they have a variety. They can pick what they want, right? So for things like salsa, I will cook it when I want it that day. Yes. Vegetables don't take a long time. If I come from work and I just pick vegetables and cut them up, within half an hour, the meal is ready. I do this because I need to save myself time. I don't have time to be in the kitchen for 2 hours on every single day.
Okay. Okay.
Our boys also are into sports. So sometimes after work, it's rushing. It's a marathon, literally, to get home to feed them and take them to their events.
Wow.
By the time we are coming back, it's 9:30 p.m. Who's going to be cooking that time? So if I don't pre-plan, if I don't pre-do things, everybody's life is chaotic.
Yeah. Wow.
So understand what's your phase right now. What do you need to alleviate yourself of some of these pressures?
Yeah.
When my kids were little, the boys, I bathed them in the evening because they weren't sweating, they weren't whatever. So we did bath time in the evening. So in the morning, all they did to get ready for school, to cut time, is brush their teeth, wash their faces, right? And put on clean underwear and whatever, and they're ready for school.
Yes.
Now that they are bigger, they have to bath in the morning because they're athletic boys, they're big boys.
Yeah.
They are hormones. They have to have a shower in the morning.
Yes,
but
now
when
they
were
have to.
small, when they were small during school time, it was okay. They could bath every day at bedtime because that was also the cue. They knew once bath time happens, it's time to start dialing down. It's time to sleep. It's not time to jump up and down.
Exactly. Exactly. Wow.
So
Wow.
understand your phase,
Yes.
understand your stage, understand
Yes.
what you need to do to help yourself alleviate some pressures in that phase. Create a
Wow.
system that helps you,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll be on track. It looks different as life goes.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you so, so much. Do I still remember? Tatotela. Yes.
Oh, Mwatotela.
Oh, I still try
You still
those
remember though.
words.
You're good.
M-Kwai. Guys, you've
MY.
had it. You've had it. Tune in tomorrow for the finale where we are talking about how you emerge as a mompreneur, because this woman, Samagumbi, is out to raise mothers to be mompreneurs. Whatever stage, if you're starting, you are in the middle and you want to sustain your business, we are here, samuonline.com. Check me out. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you're a mom, I've created a Facebook group for mothers in network marketing. You might not be in network marketing, but you might be a mother and you want to grow in this online space. Guys, I love working on my computer. I love working like this. That's me. If you resonate and you think, oh, I also want to be like that, and you're going to work, guys, it's not easy. Please hook me up. We've got a Facebook group. But having said that, thank you so much, Sis Claire. Thank you so much. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye. Smiling is my trademark.